When it comes to addictions, you need to know that the addiction creates the void that it claims to fill. Now, what that basically means is when you engage in something, anything, it could literally be drinking, drugs, gambling, gaming, social media, smoking, porn, I don't know what it is, what someone is addicted to. Everyone's experiences are unique. But let's say someone is addicted to smoking, okay? You're addicted to smoking. What they don't realize, well, they might realize it, but a lot of people don't, is the fact that when you have a smoke, in this instance, smoking is the example we're using, when you engage in that addiction, so you have the smoke, that smoke creates the urge to have the next smoke and the next one and the next one. Because if you think about it, someone who's never had a smoke before, they don't have any cravings or any urges to have a smoke. The smoking creates the urge to smoke, okay? And it goes for everything, okay? Drinking, right? If you take like an alcoholic or something like that, them engaging in the drinking is the thing that's creating the urge to then engage in drinking again. It's creating the urge because your body and mind creates like withdrawal symptoms to that in which you expose yourself to. But if you don't expose yourself to something for an extremely long time, or actually not even that fucking long, a couple of weeks, depending on what it is, what the addiction is, a couple of weeks to a month, a couple months type thing, depending on the individual circumstance. But the longer you withdraw from something, the longer you actually, a better word is abstain, the longer you abstain from something, the weaker the cravings and impulses and urges arise within you to actually do that thing again. So the more you can stay away from something, the longer you can abstain from it, the less impulses you're going to have, the less cravings you're going to have, the less you're going to actually want to engage in that thing. I know this might seem like, an obvious truth, something that doesn't even really need to be spoken on, but it absolutely does, because we can look past this stuff so easily. What people don't realize most of the time is you're addicted to the thing because you keep engaging in the thing. Like your engagement creates the addiction. If you had someone who had smoked for 20 years and then they just quit cold turkey and they didn't smoke for, let's say, they didn't pick up a smoke for 5 years, I can almost guarantee you that that individual would have extremely low, if any, impulses, urges, and like a desire to smoke because they haven't exposed themselves to it for so long. But the moment they pick up a smoke again and, smoke the smoke, straight away their urges, impulses, and desires skyrocket to the fucking sky. And so how this relates to all other addictions is if you're trying to quit something, whatever it is, okay, whatever your thing is, if you're trying to quit that thing, understand that every time you engage in it, every time you use it, every time you do that thing, you create the impulse and desire and urge for the next time. Every time you use it, engage in it, or just, whatever the thing is, every time you engage in it, you're creating the urge for the next time. And this was a real big, eye-opener for me personally. It helped me understand addictions a lot deeper because it provided me a framework that I could tell myself and also my clients and even my friends and stuff to help them and help myself be like, hey, I know you think that engaging in this thing one time isn't going to do anything, but understand that this one time of engagement is then going to skyrocket your impulses and urges to engage with it again. So when you abstain from something, it's not just the benefits you get from abstaining from that thing, it's the fact that you don't have to fight urges or impulses, okay? Literally whatever the fuck it is. If you don't engage in something for a significantly long period of time, or even doesn't even need to be that long for certain things, you don't have the impulses and urges. An example of this is, I used to watch porn, right? Now, I don't know if I would ever say I was addicted to porn, but I watched porn practically every fucking day, right? I thought it was normal back then. It's just what I did. Now, I didn't know that I had a compulsion towards it until I tried to stop, right? Until I literally said to myself, I'm not gonna watch porn anymore. In that process of me quitting porn, getting off porn, I literally experienced withdrawal symptoms, right? And, you know, I know there are other guys out there who fucking have the exact same experience because I work with a ton of them. And also, it's just the common experience. Porn is literally a fucking drug. Call it what you want. You think it's just a habit. It's not. It's an actual fucking drug. It rewires your brain chemistry. It is extremely detrimental to you, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. But back to what I was talking about, using myself as an example. When I was quitting porn and I was like, I don't want to watch porn anymore. I don't think this is beneficial to me. It's not aligned with the version of myself that I want to be. I'm going to stop doing it. Didn't know I had any compulsion or any, you know, addiction towards it until I tried to stop. And then I was like, oh shit, like there are actual, you know, like cravings within me, which is like, you know, go watch porn. And in that process, especially in the early days, like I tried to quit a few times, tried to quit, failed, you know, watch the shit again, tried to quit, failed, watch the shit again, blah, blah, blah. But what I was learning throughout the process without even realizing it, and only now do I realize it in retrospect, was the longer I didn't engage in it, the less I wanted to engage in it. I'm going to say that again because it's crucial to understanding this. The longer I didn't engage in it, the less I wanted to engage in it. Okay? Fast forward to today, I haven't watched porn in fuck knows how long. I actually don't even track anymore. I realized tracking and all that other bullshit was counterintuitive. But the reason I bring up that is because these days, I genuinely have no desire to watch porn. I have no urge to watch porn. There's nothing within me which is like, go watch porn, or there's no desire, there's no impulse, there's no craving for it. And the reason that craving and that impulse and that desire has subsided within me is because I have abstained from it for a significantly long period of time. And so because I haven't engaged in the addiction, I haven't fueled the addiction. Because when you engage in something, you create the void in which pushes you to engage again. You know, let's provide a very simple habit loop here. Man gets home from work, experiences feelings of loneliness and inadequacy and a desire for intimacy, which is like a void of sorts. He uses porn to fill that void. After he watches porn, he then feels those things tenfold, and so the craving is created, and then the cycle repeats. But if you don't engage in porn in the first place, or you choose to deal with those emotions and thoughts in a healthier way, then you no longer create the void. You don't create those future impulses. And that's literally what it is. When you understand it, when you truly wrap your fucking head around this, apologies for swearing, but I'm very fucking passionate about this. And I just think everyone needs to know, everyone needs to understand this loop and how sinister it can be if you don't understand it. When you understand that engagement in the thing creates the desire to engage in it again, you never want to engage in anything that's detrimental to you ever again. Another example, I haven't eaten fast food in a long ass period of time, right? That's not something that, you know, I'm whatever, like fighting, nothing like that. I'm not fighting anything anymore. I don't actually think it's wise to approach anything bad in the way of like fighting it, because that just creates resistance and also evokes internal rebellion. But what I will say is I don't ever crave McDonald's, right? I honestly probably haven't had McDonald's in like 5 years, more, 7 maybe. And I never crave McDonald's, and I don't crave it because I don't even remember what McDonald's tastes like, or, you know, the experience of McDonald's. I don't even remember it in my mind, in my body. I don't actually remember that. And because I don't remember it, I don't want it, because it's almost like I don't even know what it is anymore. You know what I mean? Like the body forgets it in a way. And so in this same sense, if you use the McDonald's as an example, it can translate to gambling, drugs, drinking, social media too, if you want to quit that. Gaming is another one. I literally, bro, I love gaming. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I don't like it. I fucking love it. I love it so much that it was distracting me. So I took my TV an Xbox out of my house and I put it in the shed, and I replaced it with a desk and a bookshelf so I'd actually learn, because I was picking gaming over reading. Bit of environmental design. But I haven't played Xbox or any of those games and that sort of thing in so fucking long. And so I actually don't crave it. I'm not like, fuck, I want to play Xbox so bad, because I don't really remember it. You know what I mean? And I think this is a really good approach for any addiction. It's less of a strategy and it's more of just an understanding, a knowing of, hey, I've stayed away from, let's say it's substance abuse, right? Or substances. I've stayed away from substances for 2 weeks now, right? If I engage in that, I'm not saying, by the way, just for context, this isn't me personally. I don't do drugs, but it's an example. Let's say the example is someone has stayed away from substances for 2 weeks, okay? And then around the 14, 15 day mark, they're like, I've stayed away for 2 weeks. I feel like I'm pretty sweet now. I'm gonna have one line, or I'm gonna go out with some mates and take some shit. I promise you this, straight after you do that, now the urges and desires and impulses are fucking through the roof again because you engaged in it. Engagement in the addiction creates the void, which then pushes you to engage again. That's the fucking loop. That's why people get caught in these loops, in these like endless traps, because they engage in the thing that creates the void, which is, a void is like a emptiness within, okay? And the emptiness within needs to be filled with something, okay? It's like, okay, let's use an example. Let's use the eating example, okay? When I'm eating, let's say I'm hungry, I've got a void within me. That void pushes me to go and eat. I eat, I feel the void, and then the void becomes void again, and then I need to eat again, blah, blah, blah. Eating obviously isn't bad. I'm not trying to push people to fucking anorexia, but I am trying to use that as an example to show you guys that engagement in a specific thing creates the void to use it again. So if you're engaging in something, it's going to create the void, which is then going to push you to use it again, which is going to create the void to push you to use it again, create the void, push you to use it again. I know I sound like a broken fucking record saying this stuff like 100 times, but it's really important that you understand it. It's really important that you grasp it, because if you do, you will understand the nature of addiction so much deeper, and you'll be able to prevent yourself from falling into traps that you would have otherwise fallen into not knowing this information. So guys, quick summary, I'm going to wrap it up here. Understand that addiction is fueled by the engagement, okay? So you're using this thing to get away from whatever the fuck you're trying to get away from, whatever thoughts, emotions, internal experiences. And you might think, well, Ricky, no, I'm actually using it to get away from an external experience. Well, no, you're not, because it's not the external experience itself, it's your thoughts and emotions about that. So it's always something internal. You're using this this self-destructive habit or this addictive, behavior to get away from this void, but it is in engagement in the addictive behavior that creates the future void, which drives you to more engagement. So if we want to talk solutions, in an ideal world, it's just stop cold turkey, don't engage in that thing. And the longer you don't engage in it, the stronger you're going to become, in the sense of you're not going to have any of these urges or impulses or anything like that. You literally starve them. That's literally you're starving these impulses. You're starving them out. You start to build trust within yourself that, hey, if this impulse comes up, I'm not going to give into it, right? Because a big part of it is as well self-trust. So you're starving these things, and then eventually it gets to a point where you don't even have these impulses. You don't even have these urges. A good analogy that was used in a book I was reading was, it referred to addiction as a little monster, and it said, we all have a little monster in us, right? Kind of childish analogy, but anyway, it's funny. We all have a little monster within us, and this little monster, whatever it is that you're addicted to, this little monster needs to be fed. And so when it's hungry, this little monster creates withdrawal pangs, the feeling of withdrawal, oh fuck, I want to do that, I want to drink, I want to do drugs, I want to watch porn, I want to gamble, whatever the fucking poison is for your individual experience. That little monster gets hungry for it, right? It gets hungry. And if you feed that little monster, it's like yum, 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 right? It eats up and the experience, and it's satisfied for a moment, and then it gets hungry again, but now it's hungrier, right? This is the progressive nature of addiction. It's hungry, and if you feed it again, yum, 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 it gets satisfied for a moment, now it's even fucking hungrier. And so you got to realize you will never satisfy this little monster. You'll never give it enough to the point where it's satisfied and happy. It's always going to get hungry again, and its hunger is only going to grow. So the way you kill the little monster within you is by starving that motherfucker. You have to starve it. Anytime the impulses or urges are there to engage in something, you just sit with them, get a little bit meditative, close your eyes if you want to. Deep breath. And just notice those urges. Literally just notice them. View them from a neutral perspective without judgment, resistance, attachment, or clinging. And if you can do that, if you can just view them, they will dissipate, because no amount of darkness can survive within the light of your consciousness. So that is a really big tip to help you deal with urges. I hope you remember that little monster analogy, because it is very, very accurate. You will never feed it enough to satisfy it. You will never be able to get rid of it by giving it what it wants. You have to starve that motherfucker. Honestly, you have to starve it. And it's almost like this analogy, it's a cool little, it almost gamifies the process, right? It's like, oh, okay, cool. You can separate these impulses, these urges, these desires from who you are. It's no longer like, oh, I want to engage in X. No, it's like, this little monster within me wants to engage in X. And I'm not going to give in to that little monster, because I'm way stronger than that, and I'm going to starve that motherfucker. And through that process, like, you can almost gamify it. It's like, I'm not going to let this little monster take control of me. I have more control over this shit than it has over me. And you can start to build up that self-trust and that self-respect through not engaging in these things which are drawing you to self-destructive habits and self-sabotaging patterns. So guys, I hope you got so much value from this video. I hope you understood the analogy and you really understood the quote, which was, addiction creates the void it claims to fill. The monster analogy is awesome. Remember that, keep it with you. And yeah, if you did get value, please give it a like, comment below what you thought, share it with your mates if you feel like they'll get value from it as well. And if you want more videos like this, and you want to see more videos, I post like every single day now. So just subscribe to my channel or my Spotify, wherever you are at the moment. Thank you guys, and I will see you on the next one.